Wix Guys Live. We are going to be live for about the next half an hour, just talking about lots of things to do with Wix. Any questions that you might have and you want to fire across to us, then we'll be happy to answer them during the stream. We'll have a couple of things that we're going to talk about, but just a quick thing about us and why you should probably listen. I'm Carl, and I'll be joining my co-host Joe, who is the co-founder of the Wix Guys. We are Wix Legend partners, which means that we've built over 500 Wix websites in our time, and we know what we're talking about. So if you are have a Wix website, you've built it yourself, you're looking to take it to the next level, or potentially you're built a website you're happy with, but it's not ranking very well on Google, this is the place to be. You can ask us some questions that you might have the answers to, hopefully. So if you have a question you wanted to get answered, you can fire it away in the comments on whatever channel you're watching this on. We're now streaming to 4 different channels: Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, and also going out to YouTube. So yeah, if you wanted to come and have a look and see us, follow us on our other channels. We're just the Wix Guys on most channels. Thanks very much for joining us. I'm going to get stuck in with some stuff that we've been up to this week. We've been building a website for a Swiss company, doing some luxury watch reselling through e-commerce. That's been pretty good fun to work with. We're also working with a company based in the UK that does a load of stuff when it comes to fixing plant machinery and servicing them and doing statutory inspections. So it couldn't be much further afield on the spectrum. The other thing that we're doing is a charity, helping them with a rebrand of their charity website, giving them some more functionality into their Wix site. They currently had a website designer that just wasn't quite doing what they needed to do. So yeah, we stepped in and have now made the changes that they need to get them moving forwards. We've got, I think, 11 projects on at the moment. We're a team of 5 here in the UK, and we're to get stuck in and help people out with their Wix problems. So I'll be joined by the lovely Joe. He will be coming through with some stuff with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, perfectly timed. And we will be here to just walk you through some stuff. Normally I have a load of questions prepared, but we've been so busy this week that I don't have anything prepared to go through. So I'm hoping that Joe's brought something with him that will help us get started.
I was thinking, just because it's quite relevant to what we're doing at the minute in the Wix Guys, talking a bit more about e-commerce.
I was just explaining actually some of the products they're working on at the moment. E-commerce is a tool that is really good in Wix. I was actually looking at a thing earlier on. If you look into the apps on Wix store, you'll see that they've got pretty horrible. Oh, hello. They've got pretty horrible reviews. The Wix store is full of people that are basically giving bad reviews of stuff, a bit like TripAdvisor. No one really goes on to say good stuff. And the Wix store has a 4.2 rating with over 4,000 reviews, which shows you that actually it's probably pretty decent. And I think it's often overlooked by a lot of people because of things like Shopify and WooCommerce available. Both absolutely great platforms, but they often come with a large price tag if you want someone to build them. So having a cheaper, more affordable option that's available for people to come in and use, that's effective, that integrates pretty well with lots of things and has the ability to do email marketing off the back of it, is actually a really great tool. And Wix e-commerce has a load of opportunity for you to do the very basic things you need to do, as in sell stuff on your website, but also you can get a lot more technical using things like CMSs to make much more exciting landing pages that can do everything that a Shopify website can, just maybe a tad slower, but for the price point you'll be paying, just a much better deal. So e-commerce can be done through Wix and should be done through Wix if you're on your startup journey. I think it's a really great place to be, but there are some larger companies using it too.
Nice. Yeah, I missed the first minute or so that's good that you let everyone know what we're up to. I think there must be. Let's have a think about what the differences are between Shopify and Wix store, because I'm pretty sure they're going to be the main two that are do-it-yourself, nice and easy stores. You can obviously use like WooCommerce on WordPress, but that's a little bit more trickier and a little bit more in-depth, whereas I imagine Shopify versus Wix. Let me just see.
I'll throw one out straight away, is that I think actually you have to stick to a theme generally if you're building it yourself when it comes to Shopify. So if you want to change and adapt the brand of the front page, it's a lot harder to make it feel like it's yours. A lot of Shopify sites, in my opinion, look the same because they're all using themes at the same theme. So it's if you want to have some differentiation, you want to have something that really stands out and pops, I think that allows Wix gives a little bit of an edge on that, where some people probably disagree with me. They're Shopify developers. Obviously, we have a slight bias in the situation. Shopify is a great platform and it's used by a lot of people for a lot of reasons. But yeah, I think that you can have a little bit more freedom for a beginner, for someone who's starting off in making their own website, for sure.
Something that I'm pretty sure is right, but you are in the know more about this, is I think Wix doesn't have as good of the delivery support for the US. So Shopify, you can make sure that all the tax brackets are correct and everything, so that the delivery is calculated. Whereas I don't think you can do that in Wix. And also Shopify has markets, so you could have a UK market, a US market, Australia market, all with different prices and stuff. Can you do that in Wix?
I don't think you can natively. So I think one of the things that's worth mentioning is that Shopify is a e-commerce first platform. So that's why you get these things. And I think actually another thing that you've alluded to there, which made me think of it, is that also it doesn't allow you to do things like tracking as effectively as well in the back end. So for things like retargeting, if you're a bigger company, and that's why I think a lot of bigger companies use things like Shopify, or obviously move on to things like WooCommerce as well, is because the ability to track return on investment from marketing spend is much better in things like Shopify. So if you're not spending a budget and you've just maybe you're a market stall who's selling a couple of products, or a new distillery that's popped up that's just making some gins, and you need somewhere to sell your products online because it's not something you've done before, which is a great step. If you're a multi-million pound, or even if you're a £1 million turnover company that's looking to invest £2,000 to £5,000 a month into marketing spend, probably Shopify might be the way for you to go. So it's really about all these conversations about Wix versus Shopify versus WordPress are all about you and what you want to get out of your site right now. And there's a big thing for me that I talk about is stepping stones. You don't have to jump into the big final shiny website that you need at the end of your journey, or when you're at your max capacity. What you need is something that's going to get you there sometimes, and that is where that Wix store will fit in for a lot of e-commerce brands. It's the thing that gives you that space in between going for your big final boss website. It's like your forever home, but a forever website.
Yeah, and something that is obviously important to people is price as well. And generally, Wix is more affordable than Shopify, especially when you start adding on plugins and other costs to Shopify. We quite commonly work with people or talk to people that have Shopify websites that's costing them $200 plus a month, because they didn't realize they'd need this app and this and this and this, and they thought it would just be the $30 a month or whatever the basic plan is. But actually, when you add it all on, it gets quite expensive. Whereas with Wix, generally, you're looking at about 20 to 30 quid for a e-commerce platform. Maybe you'll need a few extras on top of that as well, but it doesn't get as expensive as Shopify. Shopify also sometimes, depending on what apps once again you're using, take a cut of the spend as well. So there's a lot of hidden fees when it comes to Shopify that there's just not in Wix.
Yeah, I think that's I know I'm talking more about WordPress here, but obviously with the plugins and stuff with WordPress, you have to keep them updated. Whereas Wix, that sort of does itself automatically. It's a big thing that a lot of people get put off by when they first start their their WordPress website, is they build a website, put the plugins in, they put the new plugin in for the new thing that they're like, oh yeah, I want to add some reviews into it. They add that plugin in and it knocks out another plugin. And they're like, I don't understand why that's a thing, why that's happening. So they have to make a change quickly. And yeah, it's not that Wix just does all that stuff for you. You're looked after by a multi-million pound company that's got all that covered.
Yeah, and it's really one of the biggest things that you see from someone who's doing a WordPress website by themselves versus a Wix website by themselves. There's just so much that can go wrong with the WordPress websites. You cannot update a plugin in time, and now your theme's completely out and everything's stuck to the left-hand side. Or you could go for cheap hosting, and all of a sudden you've got downtime every Tuesday at 7 o'clock because that happens to be when one of their other clients gets lots of traffic. Whereas on Wix, it's nice and simple. You don't have to care about hosting, you don't have to care about plugins or anything like that. It just works and goes, which is somewhat the same as Shopify and Squarespace, but Shopify especially, you can get quite a lot of apps that jump on and can sometimes screw up what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning as well. Sometimes with that hosting on things like WordPress, you find that you might not see the problem, and that's actually the biggest thing. So, like, it might look fine, website looks fine, everything's going right, but actually, all of the back end security stuff that was there protecting it has now been knocked out, and that's often the problem that people have. Is actually not everything's left aligned, and you can't see anything on this website anymore. It's actually, oh, they can get into the back end of our system and they can see the customer data, which obviously is a problem. So, yeah, having that when you're running a small business, you're in the weeds. The last thing you want to be doing is updating your plugins, and that's a big thing that it allows you to do. Obviously, you can pay someone to do that, but generally, you're going to find it's going to cost you between £35 to £75 is pretty average amount for a small business to be charged for the hosting. Yeah, Wix is £12.60, so it's a big difference for a small companies.
Yeah, and especially when you're small, you just want peace of mind. You don't want to have to be worrying, oh, did I do that plugin correctly, or does that plugin conflict with that one? You just want to know, I have a website, it's live, it will work for as long as I continue to pay Wix, and everyone can come on, have a good experience, and leave, which is what you want.
I think I was thinking about it the other day. Obviously, we've been doing this for a long time now and had Wix websites on the platform for a long time. And I was thinking back to the amount of times I can think of that the site went down. And I can think of 2 in the last year. And it went down for about probably 50 minutes. And one of them was because Google went down, and all of the imagery across every single website, including WordPress, went down for a while because their Google Cloud system broke. So there was nothing they could do about that one. And the other one was a problem which they solved, and they've got a service update system where you can just log in and see what's going on, and they keep you updated, and they put text updates on there as well, which is a thing that we use quite often. So if something does happen, they can just send you a text message being like, oh yeah, everything's good now, you can crack on. And it's like quite a nice peace of mind thing to have. If something does go wrong, there's a team of people that are sorting it out and keeping you updated about it. Whereas if your WordPress site goes down, you're just like, oh, I hope Barry, the IT guy, has got this covered, because I don't know what's going on. And that's can be good because Barry can be great, and it can be bad because Barry can be awful. So it depends on who your Barry is.
Yeah, and if you're hosting it yourself on something like Hostinger or something like that, you don't have a clue what's going on because they don't communicate at all. So you just have to sort of sit, fingers crossed, and hope that it's not going to take days for your website to go back up again. So, well, I say they don't give they only give you information if you're on their like premium support plan, which is pricey.
Yeah.
If you're just the basic guy, you get nothing.
Yeah. So yes. So basically, the thing we're talking about here is like that Wix is much more suited to the S in SME. It's much suited to the little guy, the solopreneurs, and Shopify has good scalability. But if you don't want to scale, or you don't want to scale at price yet, then yeah, jump onto Wix. It will do everything you need to do, and move you forward. And if you get stuck, good news. That's what we do. We help people out. We build e-commerce websites, and we have been doing it this week. It says from 749, but actually it's a little bit more for an e-commerce website, just because there's a little bit more to do. The more we have to do, the more we have to charge you. But we do e-commerce too, and have been doing it for a long time. So if you wanted to see an e-commerce website, then you can come and talk to us about that too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to say something a bit controversial, I think, here as well, when it comes to Wix versus the others, sort of, is every business owner thinks that their situation is unique, as in their store needs to be slightly different than everyone else's because of this, that. And I think that puts off the idea of using templated websites or using builder websites, and they think they need something bespoke. 99.999% of businesses need the same website. Like, you either need an e-commerce website that works like this, or you need a booking system that works like this, or you need an informational website that works like this. The reason they're templated and they use like this is because people like us and the people that actually develop it at Wix know that this is what the user wants. This is how they want it to work. They don't want to have to do 6 clicks through 84 animations to get to the button to put that in their basket. They want the product images on the left. They want the button information on the right. They want quantity sometimes. They want to add it to a basket. They want to go to their basket, press a checkout button, done. A lot of people sometimes come to us with crazy ideas that it's just not going to work. So,
yeah, I was talking to an agency the other day, and their websites start at about 10 grand, and they do very bespoke, very fast loads, really, really intricate websites. And I was talking to him, and I was like, "Oh, so do you do e-commerce?" He's like, "Yeah, do e-commerce." And they work with some massive sites. I think they were telling me about one of their things is like a reseller of like gift days, and they had something like 20,000 products on the website with all different unique codes and all different people they had to send it to when they think it was a really intricate site, and that's why they need to spend that much money, because Wix isn't going to do that. But I was saying to him, I was like, "So how does it work if you wanted to add a booking system?" And he's like, "Well, we just put a booking system plugin in." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Well, what's the point of building something that's, if someone's already built it and it works?" And I was like, "That is literally what we're talking about here. Like, it's sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Like, if it works and it does the stuff it needs to do for you, then it does the stuff it needs to do for you. You don't need to jump on and spend 10 grand getting something custom built that would probably be worse than the thing that people have spent a lot of money and a lot of time developing. That's their sole job, by the way. Sometimes people forget this. Someone's sole job is just to make booking systems, and there'll be a whole team of people that do that. If you think that you can design that better with a one-man band or a small agency locally to you, then you're probably wrong. Someone out there will do something better for sure, because it's their full-time job of a team of people who are probably cleverer than you. Hate to break it to you.
Speak for yourself, Carl. Yeah, I just think we get it all the time where people come to us with these ideas of like this animation coming in and spinning in and doing this and that and this and that. I'm just like, well, the user doesn't want that. Yeah, it might make you feel good about your brand, but the user it's clicking on your website to know what you do, who you help, etc., etc. They don't care if the button does some weird animation thing and comes in like a bird and then lands on a roof. They don't care about that stuff. In fact, that's, if anything, that's going to take their eyes away from the actual information you want them to know. So
we often have this argument, don't we? Because you're very much user friendliness, UX, and I try and make things design heavy and make it look smart. But we've very quickly come to a happy medium where things look good, because it has to look good still, but it has to be practical. And you can go too far. Like I see some sites online. I'm looking at inspiration of things that are happening, and there's some amazing things that you can do now with scroll animations and things like that. And I feel like, oh, these look great. They look great. And I feel like for some businesses, they probably work quite well. If you're a design agency and your thing is really well designed, then absolutely that looks great. But if you're, just a vet, and your things, as you said, a bird flies in and a dog runs across the thing to swish out the text and put a new set of text in. Gertrude, the 75-year-old who's got a cat that's about to be put down, doesn't care. Like, she just wants to go on the website and book something in. So, like, make that easy for her. It's a big thing that, I know it annoys you, and it does annoy me more. The more I learn about it, it does annoy me too. And I think, you have to put down the design wand a little bit and just pick up some practicality. People just want a good job done.
Yeah, and I think everyone used to point to the Apple website as like the newest crazy design element, but if you actually look at the Apple website nowadays, it looks the exact same as every other. I don't know if we can pull that up on the vertical stream very, very well, but it looks very similar to e-commerce websites that we've made, or even just informational websites we've made. So even these big guys that were at the forefront of web design have taken a complete U-turn and gone to, is there a way to make it bigger?
Look at that. Kind of works.
There you go.
Well, you can see it enough.
Yeah, so if you scroll right to the top, it's got the standard navigation bar along the top. It's got what you call a hero section at the top, which is just basic, simple animation and stuff. There's no animation. There's no scrolling animation as you go down. There's their product with 2 buttons. It's all like really simple stuff now. Whereas when you used to go on it, there used to be some crazy scroll animations, some animations coming in on the right-hand side and stuff. But obviously, if they've understood it, then the rest of us should probably as well.
Yeah, I think the thing as well is one of the things you can notice from this is that a big part of all things for me, a big part of a website is photography. It's such a huge part that's often missed. People go, "Oh, why does Apple's site look better than my site? I don't understand. What have they done?" Like, they've just spent hundreds of thousands of pounds on amazing photography over multiple products. Like, that is what they do. All of their stuff looks good. It is a easy way.
And you just put Jason Momoa topless.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
Helps.
That always helps. Yeah. But yeah, it's for me. Photography can change a website very, very quickly. It's an easy way of showing off exactly what you do, but also separates you from the smaller companies that are just taking pictures on their phone. It doesn't cost much either. You find a good photographer locally to you would be surprised at how much it costs actually to get that sorted out. It isn't a huge amount. It's absolutely worth it, in my opinion. A big thing that you can do to change your brand, how it comes across online, and also it's going to increase the amount of sales you make. The better your photography is, the more sales you'll make. I promise you, that'll be a thing.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the most awkward conversations we have to have with people a lot of the time, especially when they've paid a photographer. And I won't call them out, but there's one client in particular. I don't know. Did it come to your brain straight away, Carl, or do I need to code tell you?
You can code tell me.
Rhymes with feet tads. No one is going to get that.
Rhymes with feet tads. I don't think that.
I'll put it in the private.
Oh yeah.
Feet. I can think of anything else.
Yes. Yeah.
But they were they spent. It was probably 2 months we were waiting for this photography, and then it came back, and we were like, "What is it?" Well, firstly, it was 4 photographs of this one product, and they spent 2 months getting this 2 photography sessions to get this, and we were just like, what on earth is this? It looked like if I gave a 13-year-old who was into photography the product and was like, here, do this.
I think they would have done a better job. I genuinely think they would have done a better job.
Yeah,
it was honestly awful.
So it's really awkward for us sometimes when we have to be like, look, that's not going to cut it. Sorry, I know you've just spent multiple grand on this, but you need a better photographer. And I think photography it's art in its own form, and product photography is a lot different to wedding photography or event photography.
100%.
But people sometimes go to their go-to event photographer who's actually not able to do the lighting and all the stuff for product photography. So you need to make sure you can go to someone who's going to be able to do product photography if that's what you need, or event photography if that's what you need, headshots if that's what you need. But Carl's completely right. Photography makes or breaks websites a lot of the time from a design element.
I've got a website you're going to love, Joe. There we go.
Oh, no.
Can you see this?
Yeah, let me put it in the middle. There you go.
This is the other end of the scale. I don't actually know what these people do. Let's try and work it out as we're going through. Yeah. So the first thing that happens is when you put your mouse over.
What the hell is that?
I don't know what these are or what they're doing. And actually, what it's doing is actually just putting loads of stuff over the top of their hero image, so I can't see it anymore. So that's awesome. Oh, there you go. An agency. Told you, a design agency. So bit of video. I don't mind a bit. I don't mind a bit of video. That's absolutely fine. That makes sense. And it's actually a really great way, again, to separate yourself. I'm talking about photography, but strong video for your hero image is a really good thing to use as well.
So I can't really see on the small screen here. What's the text on the left and the right of that video there?
It says, "We exist to challenge the mundane and the monotonous."
Okay, so why is that?
Limits to create unexpected experiences.
So like that, why is that video square? Why is it not normal sized and the whole thing? I don't get it.
Oh, here you go. Here's some scroll animation now. So this is scrolling with me scrolling. So it's the different things that come through are coming through as
this is my worst nightmare.
Yeah, and I get why. They're working with Netflix and stuff, and they're obviously looking for stuff that pushes the boundaries and does different stuff, which is important. But for you, the small business owner, this is not what you need. I mean, they're a huge company. Look, they've got places all over the place. So I'm not going to. Obviously, they know what they're talking about. They've worked with some of the big clients, but that you don't want to be putting yourself in the same category as these people, unless this is the sort of people you're trying to deal with. This is what we talked about it last week a little bit, but actually, the whole idea of a customer avatar is like where this comes in. So if your person is actually art college student who is really into design and really forward thinking and wants creativity and pushing the boundaries, then yeah, maybe that is the site you need. 100%. If your thing is a businessman in his 50s who's a quantity surveyor and wants to just get the drawings downloaded from a website and put it onto his computer, then make it easy for him. He doesn't care about any of that stuff. So a big thing you need to worry about with this stuff is, who is your customer? I think it's going to come back to this every week from now on, just by accident. But who is your customer and what do they want? Then deliver it. Like, that is what web design is. Make it easy, make it accessible. I think that's another thing that's important. I'm not sure how accessible that site would be. So if you were dealing with people with accessibility issues, then you'd have to obviously think about how you're dealing with that as well. But yeah, it's a big thing to think about who you're talking to, for sure.
And I think just on that website, I guess they're in a different position. They might not want loads of people contacting them through their website, but there's no like way of actually getting in touch with that company. I didn't see a phone number or contact form or even an email address or anything. So
there's a contact button at the top which takes you through to a contact page, but nothing. Yeah. It's not very easy to see either. It's covered by loads of stuff constantly.
So that's something else you see quite often on people that make their own websites. They don't have enough call to actions in it as well. I wasn't here at the beginning. Did we explain that people were supposed to ask questions?
We did explain that, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good.
She put the big sign up that says to people to do it. There you go.
Well, we're about to wrap up, Carl. So, but if there's anyone who has any questions about Wix, about websites as a whole, let us know. And if you don't have questions and you just want us to do it, we do websites from 749, reduced from 849. If you come talk to us today, that's a lie.
Right now, no, we're going to bed in a minute. Yeah, we've got kids.
It's always 749 up, depending on what your business needs are.
I think it's important to say that we will be very, very honest about what your needs are. Like we've done it in this chat. We will do the same thing to you personally. We will tell you if you are being ripped off. We'll tell you if you think you're getting a good deal. We'll tell you if you don't need the thing you're asking for. If you need something more than what you're asking for, we will give you exactly what you need. We are an agency, but I would refer ourselves as a hand-holding agency. We like to take people through the good and the bad and the ugly and make sure they get what is right for them.
Put that on your LinkedIn, Carl. Here we go. Your strapline, hand-holding agency owner.
There we go.
Cool. Should we wrap it up there, Carl?
I think so.
Cool. We are here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. GMT. Someone has just scanned the QR code.
Have you got a question? Now's the time.
Or if you just want to, leave a
ring me. Just ring me instead.
Yeah. But we're here at 8 p.m. every single Tuesday to answer questions about Wix or website design as a whole and other platforms. We are the Wix guys, but we do have other agencies that work with other platforms as well. So we do know a fair amount about the web design space as a whole. So if you have any questions and you're watching this after the fact, come back at 8 p.m. GMT on Tuesday to get your questions answered.
I have a quick thing to add on before we close off. I think we'll be in a new office from next week as well. Well, I will be. I'll be in a new office from next week as well. So things will be changing.
Fancy. I need to.
I've got a question. The last second. Look.
Oh, okay.
Can we do it? Come on, let's do it.
Who's your customer avatar?
Who's
you are Kevin.
Yeah, you actually are Kevin. I know who you are. So, customer avatar is our one. If we're looking for someone, so I always say it, but it's the S in SME. So we're small business owners that don't have time for a website don't have time for a website build themselves, or maybe have built a website themselves and they're not particularly happy with it, or they've built a website, they loved it at the time, but now their business has grown and got better, so they need to have a website that reflects that. So that would be our perfect customer. There is, I would say, the age range probably is around between 35 to 55. They are on the tools still, so they're still doing stuff. The customer avatar is huge, and you need to pull loads of stuff out of someone to understand where they are. But that's a pretty easy answer to that question. Is someone who's not particularly techie, who needs a little bit of help, needs some questions answered as they go through the process, and hasn't got a massively deep set of pockets. That's who we look after.
Yeah, and we always talk about it in two veins as well. So we've got the do-it-yourself guys or girls that have tried doing it themselves and have either hit pitfalls or they've just outgrown it. They've not got enough time. But then there is also the other side of just people that need a website. They don't really care if they're on Wix, WordPress, Shopify, whatever. They just know that they need a website and they need it affordable. They need it done quick and done well. They don't need, $5,000, 4-month turnaround type websites. They want a £750 website that can get turned around within 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think it's probably worth mentioning as well. We also have another avatar that's completely separate from them as well, where we actually work with a lot of other digital marketing agencies, website designers, developers who that can't service the same people that we service, the S and SME. So we have to, we partner with them and they pass work to us as well. That happens quite often. So that's the thing that's worth mentioning is that your customer avatar could be you could have 3 or 4 different ones and they're all different things. And you have to make sure that the copy on the pages that are relevant to that person are relevant to that person. Because if they're not, then they're just if you're talking about quite technical stuff to a web developer, then it's not going to make sense if you're giving that same information to, Sandra, who's just started up her embroidery company. It's not going to be the same thing. She doesn't want to hear that stuff. So yeah, that customer avatar journey is a big part of your business startup journey, in my opinion.
Definitely. Well, hey, thank you, Kevin.
Last minute
question.
I love it when they come in a second before we're going to finish the stream. It's always the way. Thanks, Kevin.
Definitely. Cool. Right. Well, as I was saying, we'll see you next Tuesday, 8 p.m. GMT, to answer any more questions. And if in the meantime you want to chat to us about anything, you can click this button to go through to our website and fill out a form.
Went to